Alright everybody, how y'all doing, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to unbox the FabSmart N600 2.4 GHz at 300 megabytes per second or 5 GHz 300 megabytes per second. The model of the Wi-Fi card is N600HP Wi-Fi card. Now, before we get into the unboxing, I'm going to tell you why I am replacing it. Now, I have brought this here Wi-Fi adapter from EDUp. Good Wi-Fi adapter. I have no issues with it. The only thing that I have an issue is the 150 megabytes per second. Now, when my cable modem was at 100 megabytes per second, I had no issues with this here. Now, since that my cable modem changed to 300 megabytes per second, this here drops signal every 10 to 20 minutes. I'm in the room watching my Hulu, Netflix, or I'm just browsing the internet, doing some research and stuff, and Wi-Fi goes out. Now, I do have an extender in the room, but since my megabytes per second has changed, this here drops out. Now, when I was at 100 megabytes per second with Xfinity, this was great. I had no issues with it, no problems, the best, whatever. But since my megabytes per second changed and I'm way in the room, this here drops out. Now, this is only good if you close by your modem, like in the living room, stuff like that. But since it don't have it does have a 2.4 gigahertz network, but at 802.11n. But since my network had changed to 803.1, everything has changed with that. This is good. The only thing is, my megabytes per second has changed on my modem. I'm way in the room watching my Wi-Fi, doing my thing, and my Wi-Fi signal goes out constantly, and that's annoying. So I had brought the FabSmart N600, and let's get into it. Now, this here comes from Amazon. You can go ahead and see the Amazon logo onto it. Now, as y'all know, this company here, FabSmart, is one of the good companies to buy for your little internal card needs, such as your USB, Wi-Fi, etc. So I'll be putting their website link in the description below if y'all want to go ahead on and check them out and understand their products. Now, the presentation is well spot on. You got the logo, FabSmart PCI Express serial. You got the connections of the devices on the side. It is compatible with Windows 8 and Windows 10. Now, it may be compatible with Windows 11. Just like I said, I'll be putting their website link in the description below, so y'all could go ahead on and check them out. Now, not too much on the box, just your regular basic box. All right, let's go ahead and get into the unboxing. All right, what's in the box? What you have is your PCIe card, your two antennas. You got a bracket if you have a low profile PC, so you could go ahead and switch the brackets out and switch it to a low profile PC if you have one of those. You got your instructions as well as your setup drivers list. Now, we recommend that you go to their website and download the drivers, the current drivers for the device, so you will have no complications with it. And also, if you don't know what you're doing first time installing it, it is also good to refer to the manual. You cannot go wrong with that there if you refer to the manual. Also, and you also have a screw to go ahead and screw everything in, screw it onto the I/O slots in the back. All right. Now I love FedSmart. You cannot go wrong with it. Let's take it out the bag and let's see the box, the product. Okay. You have your model N600HP, 2.4 gigahertz, 300 megabytes per second, or if you're on 5 gigahertz, if you switch the settings in the modem to 5 gigahertz, it goes to 300 megabytes per second. It's PCI Express high power dual band wireless and Wi-Fi adapter. You got your 2 antenna screw ins. You got your signal light there. You know, you cannot go wrong with it. Now, just like I said, I had brought this up because my speeds has changed onto my adapter. Instead of me being at 100 megabytes per second, which that was good for my EDUP EPMS8551. Now this is good when you close in and if you got all your setup in the living room and then you got no issues with the signals. This is good if you close very close to your modem. Now I do have an extender in the room, but since I'm not on 100 megabytes per second, my speed have changed. I had to go ahead and go to something more stronger and more dual range to go ahead on and beam through the walls, because on my box modem it is set up for 2.4 gigahertz as well as 5 gigahertz. So with the 5 gigahertz, it go ahead and go a little longer further in the room, and I ain't got no issues or no problems with that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is do the install video, and let's do this. Okay, everybody, now we're into the installation process today. Now we're gonna go ahead on and install it in. And basically what I gotta do is take my side panels off. This is one reason why that some of y'all like those new cases, like Corsair and stuff, because y'all don't have to deal with these here rip-out tabs here. To manufacturers like Do-It-Yourself PC, Rosewell, who else? Zellman. Y'all go ahead and install the brackets, so we can just unscrew it and move, or we have to go ahead and bid the tabs out. But other than that, before we get into the installation process here, as you know, that I got me a 120 millimeter fan on the door. I got to take the back panels off to go ahead on and remove that fan out the way. So first, let's go ahead and take the back panel off here. So I can locate that fan, move my doors out the way. That's one. Put my glasses on so I can see where I'm going. And move the other one. That's two. Maybe I didn't have to take the back panel off, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's going to be in my way. And I'll see where the panel fan is at. Is this fan right here. So I can just put it out the way. Now pretty much I got everything set right. I got my USB here. So the only thing I have to do now is basically I got to go ahead and drop my USB panel because it's in the way of my bracket slot. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. It's in the way of the bracket slot here. Here is my 8X 16 PCIe 16 8X. I'm gonna be plugging it in here. It works because I have my USB 3.0 into that slot there, so it works. So it's not an issue because I had a double slot fan up in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking care of that right now. I may not have to go for that one out to the bottom. Anyway, as you'll notice, I'm on a micro ATX motherboard, so it's easy. So I can just go ahead on it. It's not really touching the board like how I want it to be touching the board. So now that's out the way, I can just slide that in place. It's gonna be a little tight up in here, but the tightness is good. And what I'm gonna start doing next time is see if I can go ahead and find me an overhang bar, so I can go ahead and do top view, so y'all can see what I'm doing here. So basically, I did this here. Move my USB down so I can have access to this slot here. Take this off. And this is one reason I was talking about with do-it-yourself rose wheel, as well as Xiaomi. Any cases that does these pop-out tabs, y'all start installing these here, so y'all could go. So we could take the screws out and just remove it and put it out of the way. So we gotta be bending and popping these off. Okay, so now let's go ahead on and keep in mind with the FS N600. Windows 8, 8.1, and Windows 10 do pick up the drivers, but I do recommend that you install them anyway, so you won't have no jet lag when you go ahead on and boot up your system. And if you're using Windows 7, you have to install the drivers manually from the website by downloading the drivers and installing on Windows 7. I'll be putting the website link in the description below, so y'all can go ahead on and take care of that. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this on in. Fits like a charm. And go ahead and put my screw back in. Now keep in mind that I will be cleaning this case out in 2004, maybe 2005, because I just re-CPU'd this thermal paste on the Xiaomi CNPS Optima 8X CPU cooler. Great CPU cooler. Even though it's just for basic mode, this is a great CPU cooler here. So handles well good up to 120 thermal design watts of the CPU. So, and they little direct heat pipe touch controls the heat perfectly, so I ain't gotta worry about no overheated issues. Now keep in mind, if you have your CPU overclocked and it's going over the thermal design of the CPU cooler, which is 120 thermal design power, please do not put this on. Go with a more high powered CPU that handles 180 watts thermal design or better. Okay, and pretty much she is done. We go ahead and put the screws in, put the cases back on. And this is your do-it-yourself Solo T2 case. So this is a great case. A lot of people like into the presentation build, so a lot of people is not into presentation build. I will recommend this case if you're not into the presentation build design. I'm plugging back in my case fan. Cable management is well spot on. Now just keep in mind she don't have a PSU shroud, but if that don't bother you, don't worry about it. It's not bothering me. As you see, the cable management is well spot on. Yes, I still use my cable Manchester cables because a lot of the fully modular power supplies were sold out in 2020. So when I purchased this power supply from Raymax, 2 years, still going strong. I had a negative review on it. It does what it does for basic use only. So, and it's a non-modular, so keep that in mind. So, but if you use more of a high-end components in the case, then that power supply is not recommended for you. Okay, closing her back up. She's done. Now, just like I said, I'm gonna go in the room and install the drivers. Now, Windows 10 will pick it up. I got no issues with that, but just like I said, I like everything. When I turn my PC on, I like everything to go ahead on and fire right up automatically. And that's why I'm installing the drivers. Now keep in mind, I was on the 150 megabytes per second, the USB one by EDUp. That's good. But if you mostly is in the living room or you're not too far away from your modem, that's great. Just like I said, I installed the extender And Xfinity did increase my speed by pushing me up to 300 megabytes per second. Now, when I was on 100 megabytes per second, that was great. I had no issues with it. But by Xfinity increasing my speed, I had to go to more of a high boost, heavy frequency to go ahead and pick up everything perfectly. So now I'm gonna go ahead on and put my antennas on. Don't over tighten. If you do, it's okay because they you can unscrew these off and on. So that's not an issue if you over tighten, but try not to over tighten everything. I have a bad issue doing that, and I run up stripping stuff, and then I got to go ahead on and get me some mechanical glue to hold everything in place. Alrighty, she is done. She said, I will not have no issues watching my movies or listening to my Spotify in the room while I'm relaxing, coming home from work, and doing creating content. So I can just relax, be at peace, and focus on what I'm doing. I want to thank y'all for watching this install. If you like the video, hit the like button, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.